Hi everyone, welcome back to Books with Karen. I'm Karen and today's video is my June TBR. So the books that I want to read in June. Now if you watched my last video, which was the May wrap up, there was actually three books that I hadn't read. So I'm going to put those on my list for this month as well. And they were The Warm Hands of Ghosts. I don't have the actual book, it's on my Kindle, so I'll put a picture here. I didn't read Hydra by Matt Wazalowski, so I'll put that back on. And Anne of Green Gables, which I've already started. I'm halfway through it, and I'm really enjoying that. There is a little bit much descriptive text in it, but I'm enjoying the exploits of Anne Shirley. So I will continue with that. If you didn't see that video, I will link it at the end so you can go and see what those books are about if you don't know what they are about. So in the past couple of months, I've used a couple of boxes with bits of paper in with names of books on, and I've just dipped in and picked one out, and those were the two books that I've wanted to read that month amongst the others. But I'm not going to do that this month. I thought I would just mix it up a little bit and just pick me books. And I've tried to pick books that I really want to read and that feel like maybe not a summery feel, but maybe different country kind of feel, or something that's a little bit more interesting. So I'll just show you what I'm going to read. And I'm going to put my glasses on so I can read the text to you. So the first one is The Dravnik Book Club by Eva Glynn. Now I picked this up in Aldi, I think it was last year. Now we did go on holiday to Dravnik a couple of years ago and I absolutely loved it. It's probably been one of my favourite holidays. So when I saw this, I thought, yeah, that's just the book that I want to read. So it says, newly arrived on the sun-drenched shores of Croatia, Claire Thompson's life is about to change forever when she starts working at a local bookshop. With her cousin veteran employee Luna and Carmela, a professor, they form an unlikely book club. We do like a book club. But when their first book club pick, an engrossing cosy crime, inspires them to embark upon an investigation that is close to the group's heart, they quickly learn the value of keeping their newfound friends close as lives and stories begin to entwine. So that sounds really good to me. The setting of Dravnik just sells it to us, and I do like a crime story, so that should be fun. The next book is The Forgotten Shore by Sarah Main, and I picked this up in the works last year. And it says, 1940, wounded in action, Archie Maxwell returns to his Scottish family estate of Rosley, but between the uneasy company of his father's new wife and the nightmares that haunt him, he finds the house more of a battleground than a refuge. Then we jump to 1980. I do like a dual timeline book. Journalist Eva Bain arrives at Rosley looking for a story. Since Archie's disappearance 40 years ago, the Maxwells have lived in the shadows, and Eva is drawn to their mystery, especially when a glimpse of a photograph stirs up long-buried memories of her childhood in Newfoundland. Could uncovering the truth heal the wounds of Eva's past, and what will it cost for Rosley to give up its secrets? A beautifully woven tale that crosses the continents. So again, different countries, Scotland, Newfoundland, Dravnik. I'm doing a little bit of travel in June, so yeah, I'm looking forward to reading that one. The next one is a book that I showed in a second-hand book haul a few weeks ago, and I just really fancied reading this one, London Rain. It is June at the moment as I'm recording this video, but it's not very nice outside. It's very grey and it's raining, and it just feels like the cover of this book. So that's why I picked this off the shelves. I have already read what this is about, but I'll just briefly go over it again. Best-selling writer Josephine Tay is in town to oversee a BBC radio production of her play Queen of Scots, but adultery, treachery and pent-up jealousies stalk the corridors of Broadcasting House. It's set in 1937, so it is a historical crime fiction from the 1930s. So yeah, the cover just reflected how it looks outside at the moment, and I do like crime fiction, I like historical fiction, so I thought that would be a good read for June. Now the next book I'm going to read is actually on my Kindle, so I'll put a picture here, and this is Murder at the Seview Hotel. A murderer comes to Scarborough. Now, the reason I chose this book is because Scarborough is one of my favourite places, one of my favourite seaside towns to go to in England. I've been going there every year since I was about 9. We took our children there, we've took the grandchildren there. We just love it. And the picture on the front of this book, that hotel, is actually, it's not the Seview Hotel, that is actually the Grand Hotel in Scarborough, which is a really beautiful, beautiful building, the outside of it. I have heard that the inside isn't so grand anymore. It's kind of been left to go to rack and ruin a little bit. You can still stay there, but I have heard it's not the best. But when I saw this book, the Grand Hotel dominates Scarborough. If you've ever been, you'll know which hotel I'm talking about. And so when I saw this on the front of the book, I thought, yeah, I need to read that. I should really read this in Scarborough, but I'm not going to Scarborough this month, so we'll read it at home. So the book is written by Glenda Young, and it's part of a Helen Dexter cozy crime series. I haven't read any of her books before, but I have a feeling they're all set in Scarborough or around the Yorkshire area. So this book says, in the charming Yorkshire seaside town of Scarborough, a murder is nothing to sing about. After the death of her husband Tom, Helen Dexter is contemplating her future as the now sole proprietor of the Seview Hotel. There's an offer from a hotel chain developer to consider, but also a booking from a group of 12 Elvis impersonators, a singing troupe called Twelvis. Sounds fun. Tom loved Elvis, and for Helen this is a sign that she should stay. But the series of mysterious events which follow suggests that the developer is not going to give up easily. Then shortly after Twelvis arrive, one of the group disappears. His body is found floating in a lake with his blue suede shoes missing. Could the two be connected? With the reputation of the Seview on the line, Helen isn't going to wait for the murderer to strike again. With her trusty greyhound Suki by her side, she decides to find out more about her guests and who wanted to make sure this Elvis never sang again. So that does sound like fun. What's not to love? It's set in Scarborough. It's crime. It sounds cosy. So yeah, I'm looking forward to reading that as well. The book club book for this month is Her Fearful Symmetry by Audrey Niffenegger. I've never read any of her books before. I think she wrote The Time Traveller's Wife, but I haven't read it. So Her Fearful Symmetry was on our list of books to choose from for the book club that I run this month, and that one got the most votes, so that's the one we're going to read. So we'll read that, and I will do a live YouTube video at the end of June, possibly the beginning of July, and we discuss what we thought of it. So I don't have the copy of it yet because I've actually ordered it from the library, so I'm just going to read to you what it says off the screen. It says, Julia and Valentina Poole are normal American teenagers, normal at least for our identical mirror twins who have no interest in college or jobs or possibly anything outside their cosy suburban home. But everything changes when they receive notice that an aunt who they didn't know existed has died and left them her flat in an apartment block overlooking Highgate Cemetery in London. They feel that at last their own lives can begin, but have no idea that they've been summoned into a tangle of fraying lives, from the obsessive-compulsive crossword setter who lives above them, to their aunt's mysterious and elusive lover who lives below them, and even to their aunt herself, who never got over her estrangement from the twins' mother, and who can't seem to quite leave her flat. With Highgate Cemetery itself a character and echoes of Henry James and Charles Dickens, Her Fearful Symmetry is a delicious and deadly 21st century ghost story about Niffenegger's familiar themes of love, loss and identity. So that sounds interesting. I do like a bit of a ghost story, and it's set in London, so that should be interesting. I have read a couple of books that have had Highgate Cemetery featured in them, and I did watch a film recently called Hampstead, which also featured Highgate Symmetry. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to reading that one for book club. And the last book that I want to put on my June TBR list is a book that I've been sent. I think this is a self-published book, and I just absolutely loved the box that it came in. I mean, look at that little wax seal on it. I thought this was brilliant. So I hope the book is as interesting as what the packaging is. So I'm just going to open it and show you what it looks like. Obviously, I've already opened it. That's what it looks like inside. So it came with a letter saying thank you for, you know, agreeing to review it. I've got a little packet of toffees. I've got a packet of instant hot chocolate, and it's full of feathers, black and purple feathers. I just thought this was such a lovely way to package a book to send to someone. It won't affect my review of it though, so I'm hoping the book is as good as the box. So the book is The Like Before the Darkness. I don't know whether this is pronounced like or lich. If anyone knows, let me know in the comments. And it's by someone called Timothy Stormcrow. And like I said, he asked me if I'd like to receive a copy of this to review it and talk about on my channel. So when I read the blurb on it, I said yes, I'd be really happy to read it and see what I thought. So I'll read you what it says on the back. The fates of Aisling, Eric and Maeve are intertwined in a world where the extraordinary is already commonplace. Aisling confronts daunting challenges in her new job as an investigative agent within the Department of Investigations and Discoveries. Eric, blessed with the unique ability to communicate with spirits, it's already dragged me in there, navigates a reality replete with ghostly presences, learning his very existence will change the course of history. I love a ghost story. Maeve, after being murdered, resurrected and then fired from her job, is forced to confront the demon she was sacrificed to and start a new career. Their stories weave together to create suspense, action and mystery, set in a world where gods walk the earth and monsters ride the bus, with a new take on some classic creatures from popular folklore and how they would cope in a modern world. I do like a fantasy kind of scenario. I have read a couple of fantasy books and have enjoyed them. I watch lots of fantasy things on TV, so and I like the way this is set in the modern world. So yeah, I'll be really interested to read that. There's quite a few pages. How many pages have we got in here? 328. It's nicely set out inside. I like the clear white pages, so I'll let you know what I think of that when I do my June wrap up. So those are the books that, I'll just take my glasses off so you don't get the glare. So those are the books that I plan to read in June. I feel like I haven't set myself too many, but as we know from last month, life sometimes gets in the way, so I don't know how many of them I'm going to get through. Maybe I'll get through them all, maybe I'll get through a couple more, maybe I won't get through half of them, but we shall see. So let me know in the comments below what you're going to read this month. I do feel like a TBR list for the month is a really fun thing to do, because then when you come to look at your bookshelves, you don't kind of think, what will I read? You've got your books set there, put them somewhere separately. I put them on my bookcase in the sitting room so I can see them, and I have really been enjoying that. So let me know in the comments below what you're going to be reading. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.